So all this region here can also have a nice difference between that region, which is the bone structure of zygomatic bone, right? And then we can, for this region of the eyes, we can separate that in some parts. Like this one will be separated from the inferior eyelid. For the inferior eyelids, you have to pay attention to this plane. Okay, this plane is really very important because it will drive our perception of the eyes, you know. So it has to be in a right way, in our right drawing. Like here I can even make this looking more coherent with the orbit of the eyes, the eye globe, and you know, the curvature of the eyes. Okay, so you have to pay attention in this curvature by looking through all the angles, even like from the top view, from the bottom view, you know. And the same we can say that for the superior eyelid. And notice the thickness of the superior eyelid and also the thickness of the inferior eyelid. It's very common to people to make these eyelids very thin, some way like this. But once you realize it, you're gonna feel that it's not that thin, so it's wrong. Then another thing that we talked is about this inclination of these 2 points of the eyes. If we look from the bottom like this, the eyes will have almost all the time this kind of inclination. They won't be parallel at the same angle. This part will be more for the back. Okay. Still talking about the eyes. What we have here in my case, maybe this eyeball is actually too big. I could actually make it less. And the distance that I like to place it is more considering that the end of the eye is here and the end of the lacrimal part. The lacrimal is exactly that region that I call, that we have a glandule which secretes the lacrimal, you know, that water. Not water, but you got it. I just don't know how to say that in English. Yeah, that's it. Let me bring this a little bit closer and get it into the right context for the eyes. Or maybe I could bring... No, I won't change the eyeballs because it was with the cranium. Like here I could bring a little bit more thickness, so I activated my back face masking for move brush, and I'm dragging just a little bit like this, so I can easily add more thickness for the eyelids. Also because I'm still working with Dynamesh, okay? So I won't destroy the topology this way. I'm not sure, but I'm feeling a little bit the eyes. I'm gonna have to undo this, because if not, we're gonna lose that eyes size that we did at the cranium, right? So I'm gonna leave it like this, and after, if we feel more necessity, we can change it. Now, by talking about the nose, what I have here for the structure of the nose, we can imagine the nose by blocking out this, just like a triangle shape. At first, and yeah, something more like this at the first time. And what we have to understand here, just by reviewing some things that we said, is here I actually would drop a little bit more this region, or maybe not, it depends. But notice that this region will be the part that we position our eyeglasses. Okay, so this is just above our bone, nasal bone, which will goes until this part here, and from this part we're gonna have the nasal hole that we call, let me check. Yeah, I found here with the name of nasal aperture. All this hole for the nose. But yeah, sometimes I don't know exactly the name, but it's really easy to remember that shape. Okay, no problem at all. And then we have the nasal bone, which will kind of create some angle, because by the end of the nasal bone, we're gonna have that the starting of those cartilages. And for the cartilages, we said for the nose we're gonna have three main cartilages, which will be this medial one, which is called the upper lateral cartilage. And then we're gonna have also this other cartilage here, that will be the lower lateral cartilage. And one thing that you have to pay attention is that this cartilage makes kind of continuity for its shape. It goes like a C curve, just like this, and it tends to goes inside the nose like that. Okay, and besides, we're gonna have the wings, which are all this region here. Okay, by the planification of the nose, we can understand that way we've made here, like we have a crispy edge in the middle here, like this, going through the hole right here. And here we have the wings, which planed would be kind of plane like in this bottom part, and then this curvy part more like this. Okay, this would be also separated in the middle. For some people, it can be more marked than in other people. Let me show you here some example in photograph. Yeah, I don't have exactly good reference, because it will depend by each person, and also for the light conditions it will be more visible or not. But it's very subtle. But even though it's subtle, we can notice its shape. Yeah, maybe a little bit here you can feel this, right? and this is less large, this region, because it's the upper lateral cartilage, and then here it becomes more, a little bit more large, because it's the nasal bone region. Okay, and notice for the shape of the nose, how is it by looking from the front view. As you can clearly see in this reference, what I have here, maybe our nose could be a little bit more like this and closer to the reference we have. And notice that all the guys are more like looking into this angle, more, you know, facing floor, a little bit more. And you can notice this by the high of the top of ears. Okay, this one is more just like ours, and you know, you can feel the head inclination by the actual high of the ears, you know. And because of this, we can clearly see a lot of difference between some guys here that we have in this upper lid and this eye bag here, the eyebrows bag. Like all these guys, this bag is like covering the eye, the superior eyelid, right? But we won't do this right now, because if we mask it here with the mask lasso, and then we drop it just like the reference, just like this, which is more common for Caucasian and those people. We can clearly do this, but once we do this, if we do this, once we update our Dynamesh, it's gonna brings all together again. So I won't do this right now. Maybe I can do it further after we I don't know, if we merge all together with the body and everything, so we can do a zero mesh version, and then we can adjust this. But for me, I think it's really okay at this time. For this top part of the cranium, one thing that is a nice thing that is good for remember is, let me see, you can always try this planification of the head. Okay, it's very awesome to better understand the shapes and the planes and the forms, exactly the change of planes. But one thing that I noticed in, I'm not sure if it was Andrew Loomis or Bridgman's, I think it was Bridgman, I can try some image after this, is we talked about this circular region, sphere shape, but it also continues, you know, for the back of head, and it's gonna be maybe until like this region here, or this, I have to confirm that, but we can clearly separate this part from that region here, you know. This region would be more pronounced, and that region in the 3/3 that I'm used to call, it goes from here, and then the side part will be more like in this region, where the temporal muscles will be connected at the shape of cranium and everything. So this will be more in the side portion of the head. This would be the 3/4, and this will be the front and the top, right? And now talking about this region of the eyebrows once again, what we have here, we have clearly this change of planes of this region. You know, we can clearly separate this part, which will be this region of the cranium, and from there we're gonna have the temporalis muscle, and here we can see this shape. Let me show you better. We can feel like if the bone edge would be here, we're gonna have the eye bags just as like with the gravity, you know, like this is moldy skin, softened skin, it will drops on the superior eyelid, so it makes this curvature, you know, it drops and it accumulates the volume just like this, right? And where it's gonna be, it won't be, it will start here in the side of the eyes, but it will make kind of a diagonal shape, because here, as we said in the beginning, we're gonna have a concave region for the eyes, and here a convex shape, right? So concave and convex. I said this, or did I said the opposite? I don't know. Here the concave, and here the convex shape, right? And then for this region, we're gonna have the glabella, which is exactly this part here that we said in the skull shape. And look how here we have a change of planes, which this plane is in shadow and then it's dark, and all this part is cleared, so it's in the light, and then it's turning, it's face fronted for more for the top. But here we have some muscles, the corrugator, and some muscles of the like procerus, like this, and it will create like this shape that we can notice a change of planes from here to here, right? So you have to pay attention. I like to feel kind of a line going from that part here, and this would be the crisp of that region for the temporalis, and then we have this shape. Okay, and it would kind of continue. Oh wait, for me it will be kind of this shape like this, you know, because of this, in this all this region we're gonna have a more pronounced shape, pronounced volume. You can clearly see that in the silhouette, that here it drops and makes more volume in all this region here of the face, right? And this region we said already. I don't like to make, you know, always pay attention to this silhouette, and in the reference you're gonna see that we have the eyebrows, of course, but Let me show you some reference. It will change a lot, but try to don't make this too much like this, like I squared. It has to be subtle. It has some curvature, you know. By looking from the top, it has this curvature, and by looking from the 3/4 view, we're gonna have here, and then just a little bit, you know. You have to pay attention into this region, which makes a change of planes. Okay, maybe it's very subtle, maybe it's a little bit stronger, but you can feel that all this region is at the same orientation, like that. Okay,